Hello there, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lily Ogini. What I do on this channel is makeup tutorial videos for, like simple, everyday, easy to wear makeup. And I do vlogs and, of course, story times. And today I am doing a story time, and I'm titling my story, "Do not bite the finger that feeds you," or "the finger that fed you." That word doesn't necessarily mean like biting a finger. No, it means that do not pay evil for good, or do not try to like hurt people that have good intention for you, or that have got your back, or that have helped you, or that are helping you. Like, I was born in my village. I keep saying that. You guys have not seen the village. Yeah, with time all of that will be in place and begin. So this story, it's growing up in my village. I think I was in JS1 there about, or primary 6. JS1, for me to be able to remember all those things like this, I was in JS1. That was, I'm not going to say the year because of course I won't. So there's this guy and this girl in my village, in the neighboring village, in my community. The guy in particular, it's someone that he just different, like in the whole of his family. Like, he's the last, okay, he's not the last one, but he's the last boy of his family, and he have a lot of elder brothers, and none of them ever went to school. But he said he wanted to be a doctor, so he was really into, he was passionate about pursuing his education, even when nobody supported him. They didn't train him in secondary school because they don't believe in education that time. And of course, nobody really cared. His family didn't really encourage him, but he encouraged himself. He was going to the farm, make some money from farm products, from his farm produce or farm products, sell them, and then pay his school fees. And he was doing that, like that, until he got to SS1, and he decided to like enroll the love of his life. He said the girl has to go to school, that he is going to be a big man in future, and that he wants his wife to be a nurse, or to just be anything that she want to be, but she must be educated, and that starts from high school. Helped her, he made sure that he encouraged her to join his school. He was as young as, he wasn't too young, like he wasn't really young, so just before you get like child abuse. No, these people were not that young, because this guy already have an idea of what he want for himself. So he was a bit not so young like that, but he's just someone that want to, like, he wants the good life, and he felt that the only way he could get that without getting into trouble is by going to school. So when he got to SS1, he now picked the love of his life and enrolled her in that same school, because there were no law of schools then. So he enrolled her, and then she was in JS1 while he was in SS1. So, he, every weekend they come home together, go to the family farm, make some money off it, and go back to school. They were basically, he was like taking care of himself and the lady in question, the girl. So he finished his secondary school. He came out in flying colors. Someone that puts their mind to something. He's serious. He wanted to be a medical doctor, and he applied for all the subjects that will enable him get admission into the university to study medicine. He applied for physics, chemistry, and the other one, you name them, and he got them all because he's so brilliant. So after getting all of these things, he got home and realized that he couldn't go to the university because it wasn't as easy as he thought. When he went to my state capital to inquire about the universities and all of that, the courses and how it goes and how it works, he realized that he wasn't going to be able to afford being a doctor because he doesn't have any financial support from, even if his brothers decide to support him, in fact, which they weren't even going to do. He didn't see possibility, so he just gave up on that, going to the university. He came back and said, okay, he has to like do something around the health sector because he really loved it. So he got a form and went to a school of health around in the neighboring states. Somewhere not far from my village, he went there and they got admission and studied health and all of that, laboratories, whatever he studied, anything that just keep him around the health, he was cool, and he studied and came out. Is it 2 years? I think it's a 2-year course that he did. And because he's such a brilliant person and so well mannered, when he came out, getting a job wasn't a problem. Like, he got a small job in a Catholic owned hospital. Even though he's not Catholic, they needed competent hands and he was good. So they employed him. He was working in my hometown. So he was now gradually getting, he's gradually getting to the vision. While, the girl, because as of this time, the girl already finished secondary school. So he got a job and then asked the girl to come to the town, to my hometown. Instead of keeping this girl in his house, he rented her own apartment with the little money he was earning. Because as a health worker, he has other small side hustle, like people coming to meet him to treat them. I don't know if it's illegal or not. Please don't ask me, okay? But he was doing that to survive and all of that. So he moved the girl from the village to the town, and he now got her a job in that school. I mean, in that hospital that he's working with. He got her a job as a cleaner. Yeah, he said so she can be earning something and to support whatever he gives to her. He pays her rent, basically take care of all her needs, but so she can have some money for her own self, while he saved money that will enable him send her to school of nursing, because she said she wanted to be a nurse and that's what he wanted for her, and she wanted it too. So he was saving money. They were both saving money. He never any day disrespected her, like, okay, I'm not saying their relationship were kind of really perfect, but they had a good relationship that we all as kids were admiring. When you talk about them, all you see is nothing but pure love for each other and respect for each other. So that day she said she want to go to Lagos to visit her stepbrother. And the guy said, okay. He looked for money and then gave to her to go to Lagos. He paid her way, took her to the park, and she went to Lagos to see her brother. She came back from Lagos after about 2 weeks. She came back to my hometown from Lagos. She didn't go straight to the village. She came to my hometown and told the guy to see her off to my village, that she has something to do in the village and that she needed him to accompany her. He was like, what is that thing? She was like, don't worry, when you get home, I'll show you. So he took her home. This guy is saving money to that extent that he doesn't spend all his money on transportation. So he have this bicycle that he normally use he gets to a place. Some of you if you grew up in my kind of village, maybe you relate, but not anymore though. Things have changed now these days, but back then people were traveling that way. So he normally, whenever he's coming from the village, because he has a bicycle, he would drop it at some friends' places, use a bus to come to my hometown. So whenever he's going back to the village, he usually join a bus to that community, and then pick up his bicycle from there and ride to his village. So he was doing that to save costs and all of that. That was the same bicycle he used to paddle the girl, to their village. Because when you get to their village, you get to the girl's house before his own. So he was like, he saw a lot of people at the girl's compound and he was shocked. He was like, what is it? Okay, fine. She's not the only one that lives there. So she have other family member and it's a big compound. So he was like, why are there so many people in your house? And she said this is what I wanted you to come and see. And he was like, I don't understand. And I'm seeing there's this particular guy that stays in Lagos that everyone from my place admire. All the young guys from my village, from my community back then wanted to be like him because he is educated. Like he's that kind of person that was able to, he went to the university quite early when all of that were not popular. Some of us were very little when he went to school. He went to Unilag. And after that, he didn't stop there. He did his master single-handedly without the help of his family. So he became like a role model to a lot of young people, especially the guys. So he saw that man and he was like, that's brother so and so. I wouldn't be calling their names, guys, okay? So he was like, that's brother so and so. And she said, yes, that particular person that you're talking about is here to pay my bride price. Is getting married. I'm getting married to him. And the guy didn't believe her. He thought maybe it's a joke. When you are in love, you play a lot. So the guy just went to his house. Like, I'll see you later, Jerry. He rode his bicycle down to his house. Only when he got home to his compound, he see that his mom, his brother's kids, his brother's wife, they were all crying and the brothers weren't looking happy. So he wanted to know what happened. They now pointed at the girl's house. Oh, you didn't see what happened when you were coming. You don't know that our wife is about to get married to someone else that has money that is bigger than you. We have lost her. We're losing her, and then we know you'll be hurt. So he just told them, she's a girl that she's a lovable person. So the family actually liked her for the guy, and because their love looks so pure. So he now told them, no, don't cry again. It's okay. I know. Just you guys, don't worry about her. Forget her. The family were shocked. They never knew that he had something in mind. He wanted to kill himself. Yeah, he wanted to die. So he just went in, dropped his bags, and then disappeared. They looked for him for 4 days. They didn't see this guy. This guy was in the bush. So they have looked for him everywhere, and even the mom went to threaten the girl's mom that if anything happens to her son, those things, when you are going through pain, you kind of overreact sometimes, you do the things that ordinarily you wouldn't do. So the girl was like, they warned the girl that even church members, they called the girl like, and I encourage her and advise her not to get married to that other guy because it's not fair. This one have done so much for you and he's waiting to do a lot more for you. He's just all he need now is time to save money so he can be able to send you to school of nursing. She said no. She's going ahead. So 4 days later, this man came out from the bush. He said God sent him back not to kill himself. I don't know. Is it easy to kill oneself? It's not easy at all. This life is sweet. So the guy came back home and then decided to he was hospitalized for 2 weeks because he had been there in the bush, starving. Even water he wasn't drinking, so he was hospitalized. And then the girl went on with her wedding planning. People were begging her. Even the church stepped in. They said, don't do this to this person. It's not good. They cannot tell her not to get married to whoever because she has never been married before. So there's little the church can do about it. But they talked to her. Yeah, improvise. So she went ahead with the wedding. Before you know it, they have done the wedding. The guy came back from the hospital. He attended the wedding. On the day of the wedding, the brother of the girl threatened him that if he go there and misbehave in the church, they were going to shoot him. They even showed him a gun. They had that little Lagos money. Everything was on point. They're not doing badly because he's working in Lagos. He can get a job anywhere because he doesn't just have a master degree. He could defend it. He's brilliant. So they went on with the wedding, and then after the wedding they went to Lagos. Their husband took her to Lagos. They got to Lagos and couldn't stay. They ran away. The guy resigned from his office in Lagos when the news that he has dumped the Yoruba girl that has been there with him for a very long time. He has dumped her without even saying anything to her. He dumped her without telling the girl that he was leaving the relationship. So his office people everywhere, they started to look at him like a wicked person, you know. So he ran away from Lagos because of the fear of the girl, because the girl threatened him that she's going to deal with him because she spends her money supporting him to enroll for the masters, you know. So, but those threats could just have been, you know, out of anger, you know, she just said things to just calm herself down or something. I don't think she really meant that she was going to kill him. But he ran away, he resigned from Lagos, took his wife back to the village. They can move because he has a lot of friends, he's well connected. He has friends everywhere, workplace, politician, government official, you know, because they are proud of him. He's brilliant, you know. So he took the wife back to the village, and before you know it, she was pregnant. When she took in, the guy started to go depressed, like the ex-boyfriend. He became depressed and started withdrawing from a lot of people. He wrote a book because of pain. He wrote a book, and he was like, God doesn't really tell people the truth. He started to doubt God, you know. He started to stop believing. He stopped going to church, basically. He was just like, he felt like, okay, how can God be blessing this girl with a baby so quick without even, he was expecting that God punished her a little bit, then she will go and apologize to him, and even the guy will apologize, then he will forgive them, and then they can go have kids. But things didn't go that way, and he was disappointed. He started to withdraw. He felt bad. Yeah, the girl was okay, you know. Getting a job for the husband wouldn't be a problem. He has the connection. So before you know it, truly the guy Nick called. His friends told him about a job at a higher institution in my state. So they asked him to apply, and he did. He got the job. When he got there, they saw his qualification, and they see that the guy performance is really wonderful. So they removed the person ahead of him, you know, who he is supposed to be next to that person. He's supposed to be reporting. He's supposed to be reporting to that person. But because he is more qualified than the other person, they demoted the other guy and placed him there to the guy's position. And that didn't turn out well. Please, at this part now, I wasn't there, so I don't know if what I heard or what everyone in the village was saying is true. That the other guy offered him water, the one that was, you know, demoted, offered him sachet water. If you're in Nigeria, you know what I mean, pure water, sachet water. So he drank it and started to complain of teeth pain, and then he was rushed to the hospital immediately, and then a few days later he died. Before he died, the wife has taken in again, and she have a baby boy. While all of that was ongoing, this man fell sick, and then he was brought home. I saw him the day he died. I just got back from school. I think I was already in, at this time, I think I was already in JS3 or SS1. I think I was in SS1 there about at this point. So I see that he just like, look at the body. This is a very big guy. Like, a lot of people respect him. He has good big friends, you know. They took the body to the mortuary. They brought it back to the village and said there's no money, they're gonna bury him immediately. That got me thinking, what about his friends, financial friends? Where are they? Those is well connected friends, where are they? They couldn't even come help this guy. This guy with all his qualification, he couldn't help his own body. He was lifeless, and they used a wrapper, Ankara, to just, oh my God. The whole of that day, my whole community went quiet. Even the birds were not singing. This is too much to handle. It was the same guy that this girl, her ex-boyfriend, that, you know, raised fund for the kids. He felt bad. He was like, he has forgiven her. He wishes that he wanted God to punish her anyway, just a little bit, so she can apologize. But he didn't want this for her. It was too much, you know. He felt bad for her. He was always, you know, It's just that we want him. His family want him, that if he helped too much, they're going to disown him and all of that. You know, the girl, you know what the girl resort to doing after they buried the body and all his friends were no more to be found. They were nowhere to be found. You know, all his friends abandoned her. And then the job he's doing, the job he died at, he hasn't worked there up to even a year, not to talk of 2 years. I heard that death benefits comes from after you have worked for the government for a particular period of time. So he hasn't worked up to that, and there was no death benefit. There was nothing. All his friends were nowhere to be found. They all abandoned her. You know, she have to come to the village and drop her kids with her mom and travel to Lagos to go do house help, you know, to be able to save some money, because she wanted to be that nurse at all. Like, she wanted to be a nurse. She was trying to save money for her kids to get into school, and she was saving money for herself to go to a school of nursing. It's not cheap to be school of nursing. I'm not talking about health. School of nursing, they are not cheap. So all these things she was struggling, she just couldn't. And then at the end of the day, she got married to a widower who has like 6 kids. You see, now this other guy has moved on. You know, he got married as well. Now, right now, as me and you are talking, as I'm talking to you now, he owns one of the best health center in my place. He went back to the university because he has saved money to study a course of his choice. Though he didn't do medicine, like medical, he didn't go to read medicine, but he did something around the health sector in the university, and he got a degree, came back and established. Guys, can you beat that? Be careful. Be careful how you hurt people. Oh, you see, she went from, you know, that girl that would have potentially getting all that she wanted, gradually she just rushed it, and then within a twinkle of an eye, is it twinkle or tinkle or twinkle of an eye, she lost everything. She's remarried again, but it's not like before. This is somebody's father. He's married to other people's father, and they are kids, 6 kids with her own. Okay, she's probably gonna have one more. Or, oh my god, life is not the same. When I saw her at a function in the village, I was like, no, this cannot be. So please be careful how you hurt people, okay? Especially the people that stood by you. No matter what happened, just try your best to control yourself, and don't be too desperate. All that we want right now will come in future. It will come, but not at the expense of other people's emotions. I don't think it's fair. Do you see? So that is what happened. Be careful. That man that sent you to the university, that didn't have the opportunity to go himself, he sent you, you agree. You know that he's not a graduate. He offered to make you one, you accept. You went there, you met someone better. You've now realized that it's no longer your class. Sister, be careful. That girl that gave you all her life savings for you to leave Nigeria, for you to travel to other parts of the world to go look for greener pasture. You went there, you see another person, you forgot her. My brother, be careful, okay? Be careful. You see this life, all I have to say is be careful, guys. So for today, that is my story for today, and I will be doing this another time. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.